Money is one of the most powerful tools in our lives, yet most people never learn how to manage it properly. They spend decades working hard, earning a paycheck, and hoping that one day things will magically improve. But for millions of people, that day never comes. The truth is sobering. Many people stay poor not because they lack intelligence or opportunity, but because they repeat the same financial mistakes over and over again. Wealth is not only about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep, how you grow it, and how you protect it. In this long and detailed guide, we will explore 15 of the most common financial mistakes that quietly drain your money, sabotage your future, and keep you stuck in a cycle of financial stress. These mistakes are not just theoretical, they appear in the lives of everyday people. You may recognize some of them in your own life. The good news? Every mistake can be corrected with knowledge, discipline, and new habits. Let's dive deep into the first 8 financial mistakes keeping you poor. Mistake 1: living without a budget. Imagine driving across the country without a map or GPS. That is exactly what living without a budget feels like. A budget is not a prison, it is a plan. It tells your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. People who avoid budgeting often believe it's too restrictive or complicated. In reality, the absence of a budget is what keeps them broke. Without tracking expenses, you underestimate how much you spend on small things: coffee, takeout, subscriptions. $10 here, $20 there, and suddenly you have spent hundreds you didn't plan for. A proper budget gives you clarity. It shows your income, your expenses, and most importantly, how much you can save or invest. The 50-30-20 rule: 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings is a simple framework that even beginners can use. Budgeting is like shining a flashlight in a dark room. Once you see clearly, you can no longer lie to yourself about your spending. Without it, you drift aimlessly and stay poor. Mistake 2: carrying credit card debt. Credit cards are convenient, but they are also dangerous. The average interest rate on a credit card hovers between 18 and 25%. This means if you carry a balance, your debt grows faster than your ability to pay it off. For example, if you owe $5,000 on a card with 20% interest and only pay the minimum each month, you could spend more than 10 years paying it off, and you'll pay thousands in interest. That $5,000 purchase may end up costing you $12,000. Carrying credit card debt is like walking on a treadmill. You exert energy but never move forward. Wealthy people use credit cards strategically. They pay in full every month, earning rewards but never paying interest. Poor people let balances roll over and dig themselves deeper. Avoiding credit card debt is one of the simplest ways to break the cycle of poverty. If you already have debt, use the avalanche method: pay the highest interest first, or the snowball method: pay the smallest balance first. Both methods work if you stay consistent. Mistake 3: ignoring an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. Jobs disappear, cars break down, medical bills arrive without warning. Without an emergency fund, you are forced to borrow at high interest, digging yourself into a hole. An emergency fund is not a luxury, it is essential. Experts recommend at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. But even a small cushion, like $1,000, can save you from financial disaster. Consider 2 workers who both lose their jobs. One has $6,000 saved. She calmly pays her bills for 6 months while she searches for a new job. The other has no savings. He relies on credit cards, and within months, he owes $10,000. Same crisis, 2 very different outcomes. Without an emergency fund, every unexpected event pushes you further into poverty. With one, you have stability and peace of mind. Mistake 4: failing to save for retirement early. One of the cruelest ironies is that young people often think retirement is too far away to worry about. They believe they will save later, but the later you start, the harder it becomes. Compound interest is the magic that makes small amounts grow into fortunes. If you start investing $200 per month at age 25 and stop at 35, you will often end up with more at retirement than someone who invests the same amount from age 35 to 65. The reason is simple: time. Every year you delay, you lose exponential growth. By failing to save early, you rob your future self of freedom. Wealthy people understand this. They invest early and consistently, even if the amounts are small. Retirement is not about age, it is about money. Start as early as possible, and your older self will thank you. Mistake 5. Spending to impress others. Many people spend money not because they need something, but because they want to show others they can afford it. Fancy cars, luxury clothes, the latest gadgets. These are not signs of wealth, they are signs of consumption. True wealth is invisible. It sits quietly in bank accounts, in investments, in assets. You can't always see it, but it grows silently in the background. Spending to impress others is a never ending trap. There will always be someone with a bigger house, a nicer car, a more expensive watch. Chasing appearances drains your resources and leaves you stressed. Consider Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world. He still lives in the same house he bought in 1958. He doesn't need to prove his wealth to anyone. That is real confidence. If you want freedom, stop caring what strangers think. Invest in assets, not appearances. Mistake 6. Not tracking small leaks. It is not always the big expenses that keep people poor. Often it is the small leaks, the streaming subscriptions you don't use, the gym membership you never visit, the daily snacks and drinks that feel harmless. A coffee that costs $5 a day becomes $150 a month and $800 a year. Invested over 10 years, that's tens of thousands of dollars. A young professional tracked his spending for 90 days and realized he was wasting $400 a month on takeout food. By cooking at home half the time, he saved $200 monthly, $2,400 a year, which compounded to more than $30,000 in a decade. Small leaks seem harmless day by day, but over years, they are devastating. Plug the leaks and you will see your wealth grow. Mistake 7. Ignoring financial literacy. Many people spend years learning skills for their jobs, but invest almost no time learning about money. This ignorance is expensive. Without financial literacy, you make poor decisions, falling for scams, investing in bad opportunities, taking on terrible debt. The financially literate know how to budget, invest, and protect their assets. Reading just one book a month on finance, or listening to podcasts, or watching educational videos can transform your mindset. Imagine adding 90 hours of financial education each year. How much smarter would you be in a decade? Ignorance keeps you poor. Knowledge sets you free. Mistake 8. Depending on a single source of income. Relying solely on your job for income is dangerous. If you lose that job, your entire financial foundation collapses. Wealthy people understand the importance of multiple streams of income. Investments, side hustles, rental properties, royalties. These create stability. If one stream dries up, the others continue. During the 20th pandemic, millions of people lost their jobs. Those with only one income source faced disaster. Those with multiple streams had stress, yes, but they survived. Depending on one income is like building a house on one pillar. It can't stand forever. Diversify your income and you'll protect yourself from poverty. Mistake 9. Neglecting health and insurance. It might surprise you, but ignoring your health is one of the most expensive mistakes you can make. Medical emergencies are among the top reasons people fall into bankruptcy. Without health insurance, a single accident or illness can wipe out years of savings. A broken bone, a surgery, or even an extended hospital stay can cost tens of thousands of dollars. But it's not just about insurance, it's about lifestyle. Poor health habits, smoking, excessive drinking, lack of exercise don't only shorten your life, they also shorten your wallet. Constant medical bills, higher insurance premiums, and lost productivity drain your finances. Wealthy people understand that health is wealth. They invest in preventative care, exercise, and balanced diets. They treat insurance as financial protection, not an unnecessary expense. If you neglect your health, you pay twice, once with your body and again with your bank account. Mistake 10. Chasing get rich quick schemes. Impatience is a disease in personal finance. Many people remain poor because they chase shortcuts, lottery tickets, gambling, multi level marketing scams, or too good to be true investments. These schemes prey on desperation. They promise wealth overnight, but deliver loss and regret. Consider this. If you had bought one lottery ticket every week for 20 years, you might have spent more than $10,000. The odds of winning are microscopic, But if you had invested that money in an index fund, you could have tens of thousands today. Wealth is rarely instant. It is slow, boring, and predictable, built on habits, discipline, and patience. Chasing fast money almost always leads to slow misery. Mistake 11, failing to invest in skills. Many people spend money on entertainment, gadgets, and consumption, but neglect the most profitable investment of all, themselves. Your skills and knowledge are assets. They determine your earning power. Yet countless people stop learning after school. They stagnate in jobs, hoping for raises that never come. Contrast this with someone who invests in learning new skills: coding, digital marketing, finance, languages. Those skills increase opportunities, higher salaries, and side hustles. A $500 course that teaches you a valuable new skill can multiply into tens of thousands of dollars in increased income. Not investing in yourself keeps you trapped in low paying jobs while the world evolves without you. Mistake 12, avoiding investing out of fear. Some people save diligently but never invest because they fear losing money. They keep cash in low interest savings accounts where inflation quietly erodes its value. Fear of investing is understandable. Markets go up and down. There are risks. But the greater risk is doing nothing. Consider this: $10,000 kept under a mattress for 20 years loses value to inflation. That same $10,000 invested in a diversified index fund could grow to $50,000 or more. By avoiding investment, you guarantee poverty in retirement. Wealthy people respect risk but don't run from it. They manage it. They diversify, invest consistently, and let time work its magic. The stock market rewards patience, not fear. Mistake 13, ignoring taxes and planning. Taxes are one of the largest expenses in your lifetime, yet many people never plan for them. They file at the last minute, missing deductions, credits, and strategies that could save thousands. Wealthy people don't just make money, they plan to keep it. They use retirement accounts, tax advantaged investments, and deductions strategically. They hire accountants or educate themselves. Ignoring taxes is like leaving money on the table every year. For example, contributing to a 401k or IRA in the US can reduce taxable income while growing investments tax deferred. Even simple things like keeping receipts for charitable donations or business expenses can save hundreds. Tax planning is not optional, it's a requirement for building wealth. Mistake 14, failing to set goals and track progress. Without goals, money drifts. Without tracking, progress stalls. Many people never define what financial success looks like. Is it buying a home? Retiring early? Building $1 million portfolio? Without a target, you wander aimlessly. Wealthy people set clear, measurable goals. Save $50,000 in 5 years, invest $1,000 per month, pay off all debt by age 40. They track progress monthly or quarterly. This tracking creates accountability. Imagine playing a sport with no scoreboard. That's how most people treat money. But once you keep score, your behavior changes. You become more focused, more disciplined, and more likely to succeed. Failing to set goals is failing to plan. Failing to plan is planning to stay poor. Mistake 15, not surrounding yourself with the right people. Finally, one of the most overlooked mistakes: staying around people with poor financial habits. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your friends waste money, avoid responsibility, and laugh at financial discipline, you will eventually copy them. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who save, invest, budget, and build businesses, those habits will rub off on you. Environment shapes behavior. Wealthy people seek mentors, masterminds, and communities that challenge them to grow. They know that financial success is not just about knowledge, but about being in the right circles. If you remain in a group that normalizes debt, consumption, and irresponsibility, you will struggle to escape poverty. Choose your circle wisely. Conclusion: we've explored 15 financial mistakes that keep people poor. Living without a budget. 2. Carrying credit card debt. 3. Ignoring an emergency fund. 4. Failing to save for retirement early. 5. Spending to impress others. 6. Not tracking small leaks. 7. Ignoring financial literacy. 8. Depending on a single income. 9. Neglecting health and insurance. 10. Chasing get rich quick schemes. 11. Failing to invest in skills. 12. Avoiding investing out of fear. 13. Ignoring taxes and planning. 14, failing to set goals and track progress. 15, not surrounding yourself with the right people. Each of these mistakes is common, but none are inevitable. You can break free by changing your habits, building discipline, and making smarter choices. Wealth is not built overnight, it is built in daily decisions, saving before spending, investing instead of fearing, learning instead of ignoring, and surrounding yourself with people who uplift you. If you recognize yourself in these mistakes, don't feel ashamed. Awareness is the first step toward change. Correct just one mistake this week, and you'll begin to shift the trajectory of your financial life. Remember, the chains of bad habits are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. The sooner you change them, the freer you become. Your financial freedom is not a dream, it is a decision. Start today.